Alright, hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and Bitcoin continues to make new highs. You can see here for around about 2 months now we have been trending up and we continue to make new local highs for Bitcoin. I wanted to point something out which is quite interesting. Hoping that Bitcoin trades to 12k so you can buy more or buy at all is not a plan, it's a dream, and we all share this dream. Some dare to dream for 3k. The smart ones levered up at 18.5 and will do it again if the chance allows with a lower price. However, waiting for a stationary price is not a plan, it's a dream. And I want to keep going with this sort of thesis. And you'll see where I'm going, hopefully. This is just for fun. We never see 20k again, or we will see 20k again. You can see here that the majority of people believe we are going to go to 20k again. Let's keep going. Bids on the Bitcoin order book on Coinbase are stacked down below 17k. A lot of people are hoping to buy Bitcoin below the lows. So you can see here, this densely populated area of color shows that a lot of people have bids down here waiting to buy Bitcoin, to long Bitcoin, if we take out or when we take out the 17k low. However, the last time the order book was this skewed to the bid side was the grind up from the March 2020 lows, and those bids were never filled. The price never came back below 3k. We made the 3k capitulation low on the C19 plunge, and then we went straight to 65k. So does that mean we can't go sub 17k? No, of course not. But hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. The former NYSE president says a lot of institutions bought Bitcoin as it went to 17k. So are they likely to let the price drop below 17k? And lastly, gradually then suddenly, says plan B. You know, it takes a long time between the top and the bottom. This is a very drawn out process, but then very suddenly it all happens at once, right? A long drawn out process suddenly all happens at once. A long drawn out process suddenly all happens at once. This has been a very long and drawn out process. And if you take this as the high, even though this high was slightly above, I think this was about 65k, it was about 69k. But if you take this one, then this was a very long time. This is a very long and drawn out process between this top and this low. So do I believe that we can't take out the 17k low? No. But what I have been saying over and over again is, what if 12 to 14k Bitcoin was a crowded trade? Okay, what if that turns out to be the case? And I think the case is building more and more. Yes, it would be nice to buy 12k Bitcoin or lower. Yes, it would be nice to load up. However, a lot of people are expecting we go sub 20k. An awful lot of people are waiting to buy still and haven't gotten in, don't believe this rally. According to Bitcoin Magazine and the former NYSE president, a lot of institutions have already bought the dip, they're already long. And as we can see here, there's a very good chance that we've spent enough time in a drawdown and that we may well have found the lows. So everything and anything is on the table, but it's starting to look increasingly likely that 12 to 14k might not happen. Now, do I think that we just go straight up from here? No, not necessarily. I've been saying it over and over again that we likely form some kind of rally that then fades and then we go. However, what would be the path of most pain here? It certainly seems that straight up would be the path of most pain for now. One thing we know for sure is that the Bitcoin Lightning Network and the network as a whole is getting stronger every single day. The current Lightning Network statistics show that we've got just under 18,000 nodes, just under 88,000 channels, just over 4,500 Bitcoin capacity. It's $108 million. Median node capacity at $120. And in the past 24 hours, 35 new nodes have been added, 417 channels, and 22.5 Bitcoin. This thing is scaling, and it's scaling quickly. In addition to this, the number of addresses with 1 Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high. So we've just hit a new all-time high for whole coiners. Okay, people are accumulating, and at 24k, this is not necessarily people dipping their toe in. This is people that understand Bitcoin and know what they're doing to protect their wealth. Interactive Brokers now offers 24/7 Bitcoin trading. We're seeing mainstream adoption and services being offered. The trend is only going in one direction. A common question that people that don't understand Bitcoin ask is, well, what happens if the internet goes down? And of course, this is kind of a silly question, because what happens to your money in a bank when the internet goes down? What happens to your house or your electricity? You know, without the internet, without power, we're all kind of screwed, right? The answer to this until today was, well, there are nodes in space, there are satellite nodes that can continue to queue up transactions so that when the power in the internet is restored, Bitcoin can then work its way through a backlog and continue to operate as normal. However, we've now got an even better answer, because in addition to the satellite nodes, Bitcoin without internet, SMS service allows sending Bitcoin with a text message. So you don't need the internet at all anymore. A person literally without internet access can go from having no Bitcoin to having Bitcoin, and then go to spending Bitcoin via text message. So look at the progression of this. This is becoming a better form of money every single day. Ethereum also making new local highs. Ethereum, of course, outpacing Bitcoin, up 90% now from its lows in just under 2 months. So great performance from Ethereum. The Ethereum Goerli testnet has just successfully merged to proof of stake. And the Ethereum so-called triple halving is coming in a little over 30 days. This is an event as big or bigger than the Bitcoin halving, according to Lark Davis. So the triple halving will see the annual emission of the new ETH drop from 4.3% to 0.43%. Put another way, we drop from 13,000 new ETH a day to 1,300. This is huge. That is a daily reduction in sell pressure of $21 million at current prices, which adds up to more than $600 million a month. It's a big deal. And he's right, that is a big deal. That's a lot less selling pressure to be applied to the Ethereum market. Plus, we are changing the Ethereum economy from its current mine and dump proof of work system to a fundamentally different one with different incentives. Welcome to the staking economy. The incentive is no longer to dump rewards, but to restake to earn more rewards. And of course, we cannot forget EIP 1559. This is Ethereum's perpetual burn mechanism. If we had had proof of stake Ethereum for the last year, then we would have burnt around 1.9 million Ethereum. In summary, emissions reduced by 90%, EIP 1559 will make ETH deflationary, sell pressure reducing massively, and economics changing. Rising demand plus falling supply equals moon. And all of this sounds great. So if you're bullish on Ethereum, this is likely why you're bullish on Ethereum, other than the price and the technicals, which of course continue to break out. I have made a video summarizing my concerns with Ethereum and some of the problems I think the chain has. So I'll put a link in the top right for that video now if you want to come back and watch that later. Moving on to the reset news, a couple of bits of reset news. Madagascar. People are protesting against power cuts and soaring prices. 75% of the population live below the poverty line, which is less than $1.90 a day. They own nothing and they are not happy. Governments cannot afford to subsidize energy in rising prices. And so you can see here, unfortunately, more and more civil unrest. I seem to show these things every few videos. It's certainly spreading around the world, isn't it? So that's not good. Speaking of power cuts, the UK is planning for potential power cuts to industries and homes in January. So it's interesting they decide to wait until the coldest month of the year for us to have no power in homes. Whether or not this turns out to be the case, whether or not this goes ahead remains to be seen. But it's been all over the news and I know a lot of people are kind of worrying about it. Rightfully so. So if you live in the UK, potentially now is the time to have some level of plan in place. All right, let's go to some charts. I'm going to start with the VIX because the VIX, first of all, has broken down from this trend line, which spans all the way back to November of 21. We've broken down, retested, and now resuming off. I think this could continue down for a week or so more, maybe 2 weeks, and then I think we get a breakout, and that breakout will be a long from me. So I'm going to leave this here, something like this. How high we go on the spike, I don't know, but will certainly be at least 2 or 3 to 1 relative to the stop. So I like the look of this. I like to trade the VIX. It's been a while since I've long the VIX, but I used to make all the way through these pumps. I was making very good money trading the VIX. So I'm going to line this trade up and attempt to take some money from the VIX. The S&P, look at the S&P go. It's broken above this, hasn't it? Let me draw this line in. So we've got a horizontal break. That means to me that we are likely going at least to the top of this trend line and possibly beyond it. I think it would be safe to take some profit from the S&P on a break of this trend line here, especially since we got in all the way down here, or that was where the trade was called. I know I played the NASDAQ, I'll get to that in a minute, but I think a breakdown of this trend line would be more than enough to take some profit and say this short-term or short to medium-term trend is over, and then you can reassess and look for an entry perhaps on a breakout of this trend line if we get it, or if we get rejected off of this, then shorts are open, I think, as well. The Nasdaq, look at the Nasdaq go, breaking out, failed the first time, now it's above, and I believe the futures are green today, so we'll see if we can continue to push this. Getting a little stretched with the Nasdaq, I believe, in the short term, and similarly, I think a break of this trend line here will be sufficient to exit the trade, and then look to reassess. So we would have captured a lot of profit in the meantime here, so we'll see how that goes. The UKX continue to push this. Similarly, I think we're getting a little stretched in this move, so perhaps a trend line breakdown from here. Hopefully we continue to push this, but I think we've made more than enough profit on this trade so that once we get a convincing breakdown, then no problem taking a profit on this one. Oil, look at oil go. Is oil attempting a breakout here? I'd like to see a daily close above this. As you can see, there's been a couple of wicks, and we could initially draw this trend line different. There was loads of wicks. So not going to rush into this long here. Potentially this is a long lining up, but like I said, I'd like to see a daily close first, and I still kind of suspect oil will be tapering off and making new lows in the not too distant future. Gold, long and strong, not sweating any pullbacks here. Gonna let this one ride, gonna really try and push because I want to get a lot more of the move out of this into this resistance, but I think once we get above this, it should be pretty plain sailing from here. Silver again, maybe do some sort of pullback or drop into a half cycle low, but that's fine. Continue to push this. Makes sense to be getting stuck here, but we'll continue to push and target the top of this in the short term. Silver miners again, still trending up, so happy days. Let's go to Bitcoin now. Bitcoin is doing Bitcoin things, isn't it? A new local high, so that's great. The question is, when it gets to 25.5, does it get rejected strongly from here, or do we see it push all the way up to 27, 28? I think this would be a reasonable place to take profit, 27, 28. It's looking like it doesn't have the momentum to get all the way up to 32, but I'm open to continue to pushing this for a little while longer. Ethereum getting very, very close to 2200. I think if we get here, that's an instant take profit from me, and I'm more than happy to take profit there, and then I'll look to re-enter potentially if we get a break of this trend line, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get strong rejection at this level. So if we take profit here and then we drop down and break out, this will be another long. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some level of strong rejection before going. MATIC, I noticed this MATIC chart is broken. This is like a blank account for the camel channel, so I'm gonna have to rejig this. Just give me a sec. All right, there we go. We have got the Coinbase one because the other one that was calculated by TradingView apparently just broke and missed out a whole bunch of days. But anyway, this is the chart. It's all sorted now. So you can see sort of consolidating here. It'd be nice to see this move up pretty quickly. If Ethereum can't drag this up, then I'm afraid the path is lower for MATIC. So I really want to see this pop up sooner rather than later. I'm noticing you could possibly argue we've got this sort of trend in play. So I think potentially a breakdown of there. Difficult to justify holding if we get a technical breakdown of this trend line. So that will be my plan, to take profit from MATIC on a trend line break there. Don't really see any reason to hold it this late in the cycle. Bitcoin, of course, is, if we measure from the entry, 62 days, we're getting stretched now, sort of halfway through the cycle. So maybe a week or two left to push. So maybe MATIC can push up over the next week or two. We'll see. Ultimately, Ethereum's got to do the carrying, but Ethereum looks to me like it's getting into the zone where it's going to hit resistance and get strong rejection. So we'll see how that goes. Haven't looked at the experimental chart for a while. You can see here we're coming towards this heart line. I've long been saying that I think we should get some level of significant reaction at this red heart line. So I expect to see that, but maybe that means there's a little bit of push left in this move, which sort of, the charts are telling me that too, a little bit of move left in the Bitcoin and the Ethereum move. So we'll continue to push, continue to hold. Dollar's still getting rejected and strongly, so that should be good for risk assets. So a little bit more pushing from me, and then I think we can lock some profit in and go again. So if you want to continue to see me deal with these markets in real time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on. I hope you have a wonderful day. Look after yourselves, look after your families. All the best from me. Take care. Cheers. Bye.